I just want to talk a couple of story specifics. And, one of these is pretty minor spoiler as far as spoilers go. But, the other, we might be getting into some more detail from the final act of the movie. But for the more minor one of my favorite scenes in this movie, and there are many, is the sequence where Splinter is explaining how they got their martial arts skills. And there is this wonderful montage. How did you put all of that together?
Our editor, Greg Levitan, I was like, this is the joke. Find some clips and make this work. And he just did it. Like, he was our editor on Mitchell's versus the Machines also. And he's very good at that style of comedy. I think we're just trying to deal with the story issue of, like, given these pieces, how would this family learn martial arts? The same way any kid learns anything today, through YouTube. And it made sense, and it was funny, I think partly because it's so surprising and such a deviation from canon. That was one of those things that was in the very first screening, essentially with the exact timing that it has now, and it just worked from the beginning, and we're like, don't mess it up. Don't change it.
Because was there anything in there that you were like, okay, this has to be in there? Or was this just kind of brought to you and you're like, this is perfect?
It was kind of that. I mean, there were some things we had to sub out because we couldn't get the legal clearance for it. There was like a Matrix clip in there at one point, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There were so many that we had more Jackie Chan movies in there, but so we were somewhat governed by just ability to legally clear things. The structure of it is identical.
I love that this movie, the way it handles its villains is kind of, in a way, they just kind of want the same acceptance. Like, there's really like there's no real difference between, the bad mutants and the turtles. The difference is that the turtles had the love and guidance that that the other ones didn't have. And like even Superfly, like he just deserved a better if his dad wasn't away, like So there is a thread of actual villainy kind of hidden in there because fans of the franchise will of course recognize the Utrom name with Cynthia Utrom. And then there's the final shot of the movie. Yeah. So we just can't have a chat about the Turtles without talking about the Shredder.
Of course.
And was there ever a version of this movie where the Shredder was an actual force, or was that something that you guys from the start were like, you know what, we're going to let this one lie for a bit?
No, that was our first thought. We're like, great, Shredder's the villain. Perfect. Yeah, what we should do? Let's have two villains. Let's have it be Shredder and Baxter Stockman, like Batman movies in the 90s. Like, great. And then as we developed the story and we got into it, like Shredder is such a big character and has such an interesting backstory. It was just eating up so much screen time to like really, really do him justice. So we're at one point we it was one of those things you're afraid to say out loud, but like I think Seth and I kind of talked to each other and we're like, should we cut Shredder? Like, would the movie be like, the studio won't like it, but like I think the movie will be better because of it. And then that opened us up to just focusing on Stockman. And then that opened us up to, well, what if it's not Stockman? What if the villain is a mutant like the Turtles are and has a similar backstory to the Turtles and can relate to them in that way and also be a foil to Splinter, kind of represent that different philosophy.
So were there like full designs done by your team for Shredder?
They are locked very securely on a hard drive. They will, I guess we'll just have to make another movie and see.